The Osage Nation, a powerful people with a rich culture, deep ties to their land, and a tragic story that unfolds in one of America's darkest chapters. This is a story of resilience, wealth, betrayal, and tragedy. Join us as we explore the history of the Osage Nation, from prosperity brought by oil wealth to the heartbreak of the Osage Reign of Terror. The Osage people originally inhabited vast territories stretching across what is now Missouri, Arkansas, Kansas, and Oklahoma. Their culture was built around hunting, farming, and trading, thriving in balance with the land and rivers that sustained them. But with the arrival of European settlers, everything began to change. Throughout the 19th century, the Osage faced increasing pressure from U.S. settlers and the government. One treaty after another saw the Osage relinquish their lands, forced to move westward. By the 1870s, they purchased land in what would become Osage County, Oklahoma, a rocky, seemingly barren region that they hoped would protect them from further encroachment. What seemed like a rocky and uninviting land turned out to hold unimaginable riches beneath its surface. In the early 1900s, oil was discovered on Osage land. Under Osage ownership, mineral rights were retained by the tribe, making each Osage a shareholder in any wealth produced. Almost overnight, the Osage became some of the wealthiest people in the United States. Newspapers began to report on the Osage as the richest nation, wealthiest people, showing images of Osage families with luxury cars, grand homes, and fine jewelry. The oil royalties, distributed as head rights to each tribal member, brought not just wealth but also new challenges. The wealth of the Osage people drew envy, greed, and resentment from non-native settlers who moved to Osage County. This resentment soon turned sinister, leading to what became known as the Osage Reign of Terror. Between 1921 and 1925, a series of suspicious murders, disappearances, and poisonings began to target Osage families. One of the most notable cases was that of Molly Burkhart, an Osage woman whose family members were systematically murdered. As the investigation unfolded, it became clear that these were not isolated incidents but part of a calculated plot to steal Osage wealth. The brutal killings caught national attention, and the newly formed Federal Bureau of Investigation, under the leadership of J. Edgar Hoover, took on the case. The investigation uncovered a web of corruption, deceit, and murder orchestrated by people who had gained guardianship over Osage head rights. Many of the murders were orchestrated by individuals who stood to inherit the head rights of their Osage spouses or wards. At the center of this plot was a man named William Hale, known as the King of the Osage Hills, who orchestrated several murders to gain control of Osage wealth. The investigation led to several convictions, bringing some justice to the victims. But for the Osage Nation, the wounds left by these events were deep and lasting. The Osage Reign of Terror left a legacy of trauma and resilience. Though the tribe fought for accountability and justice, the events were a painful reminder of the prejudice and exploitation Native communities faced. Today, the Osage Nation remains a vibrant community, honoring the memory of those lost while moving forward with strength and pride. The story of the Osage Nation is one of resilience against unimaginable odds. From wealth to tragedy, they have endured and continue to thrive, preserving their heritage, culture, and land. The Osage Reign of Terror stands as a reminder of the injustices they faced and the strength they carry forward. Today, the Osage people honor their ancestors, ensuring that their story is never forgotten.